A new bill was just introduced and they're voting on it today. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in this video. Let's get right into it. All right, so in this video, I do have a number of different headlines and updates for you, so let's work our way through these one at a time. First off, I'd like to share with you the results out of a new Gallup poll. The survey is showing us 52% of respondents are worried about keeping up their current lifestyle and livelihoods. At the same time, the survey went on to show 35% of respondents are worried about paying their monthly mortgage and or rent payments. And then the study continued on to show that 63% of respondents are worried about having enough money to actually retire. Now, all of these figures and percentages that we're actually seeing right now are significantly higher than the same survey that they conducted over the last couple years. It's all coming down to higher prices and inflation, which is actually causing more people to spend more money right now on the same old things. Therefore, they don't have extra money to do the other things right now that we all need as well. Now, again, this is just from this survey, but I think in the real life that all of us are living right now, I think we can all attest to this, right? We're all dealing with the exact same thing. Whether we responded to the Gallup poll or not, the fact of the matter is, I think all of us are probably dealing with this exact same situation. It would actually be interesting to run this exact same poll on this channel right here, just to hear from all of you and see what kind of percentages we come up with. I'd be willing to bet that a lot of people are probably worried about the exact same things, but I'm guessing that the percentages are probably even higher. So anyway, that is just the fact of the matter of things going on right now with these rapidly rising prices and inflation that seems to continue on and doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. Now, I do have a bunch more reports here and headlines that I want to share with you, but really quickly before we get into those, if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video. I am your one and only daily advocate, and I'm very much dedicated to you and this community. I am literally doing research all day, every single day, 7 days a week, breaking it all down into the shortest videos I can possibly produce right here for you, delivering them a few times each and every day so that you can stay updated with everything going on, the headlines that are hitting, as well as announcements, packages, proposals, anything else that may be floating around out there right now that I feel like you should probably know about, and or anything that may pop up that we can take advantage of. Of course, I want to share that with you right away so that you can grab it during this very confusing and very busy time. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I'm right here by your side on your team, as I do want to help you out in any way that I possibly can. Thanks again. I truly do appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get into the rest of these updates. All right, so we know that about 2 months ago, gas prices hit a new national average, right? About $4.33 a gallon. Well, guess what? We're only a few pennies away from a new national average as of right now. Over the last week and a half or so, gas prices have gone up significantly, and we're likely going to be making new all-time high gas prices as a national average. Here's what's interesting about it. Maybe a month ago or so, maybe 3 weeks or a month ago, the president was out announcing that he's going to be releasing 1 million barrels of oil from the strategic reserves every single day for the next 6 months. 180 million barrels of oil to help lower the price of gas. Has it done much? Well, I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm not going to throw my opinions in here, but at the end of the day, I think we can see right here from the national averages what that has actually done to the gas prices, right? So that's kind of an interesting thing right now with all of this going on and 1 million barrels of oil every single day being released from the reserves. Gas prices are going up. So anyway, that's just something that's going on right now so you can see what is actually happening out there. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on out there. We got to watch all this stuff very, very closely. Now, another update that I want to share with you as well. And again, this may just exacerbate some of the inflation that we're currently dealing with, and maybe even some of the supply chain issues that we've been dealing with for, 2 years now, or however long. It's been a very long time that we've been dealing with supply chain issues. The lockdowns in China are actually they're actually extending even further. So they have still a zero COVID policy in China, which, again, not going to jump in here with my opinions. It seems very, I don't know. It's very ambitious. It's a very ambitious goal, right? But this is their policy in China. Zero COVID. Sorry, I said COVID. But the deal is they are extending all of these kind of lockdowns and these like lockdown areas. They're literally putting fences up around areas and they're just extending because COVID cases continue to spread in that country. So the point is, we import a ton of different products and goods out of China. The fact of the matter is, if we don't have, the people over there working and producing things, putting them onto into containers and onto freighters and bringing them across the ocean, all kinds of different things like this, it just means that, we're not getting the necessary amount of products and, goods onto our store shelves. So this problem could persist for a very long time. This is something that cannot be turned around overnight. This is something that's going to take a very, very long time to get the manufacturing ramped back up, the production back up to the levels that we need, all the shipments and the containers going across the ocean. Once it hits the port over in California, generally Long Beach or Los Angeles, then it needs to be put onto trains or semis and transported across the country. You know the whole story. I mean, seriously, it is a very, very long process. It's likely going to take many, many months, realistically, maybe even another year, year and a half, or even longer to get this whole supply chain issue figured out. Depending on how long that they are in lockdown over there, we could be dealing with these situations for a very long time going forward. So anyway, they continue to extend over there. So I'll keep you posted as we do get more details. Next, I want to talk about this new bill that was just introduced, and right away, sure would be nice if they did this with other bills. This was just introduced, and they're voting on it already today. Let me tell you the details on this one. So a couple days ago, the president was out calling on Congress to approve an additional $33 billion of Ukraine relief right now, right away, right? And apparently this is supposed to get them through the next couple months here. I have a weird feeling that we're probably going to be seeing more bills coming out here asking for more money, probably sooner than just a couple months. But again, only time will tell on that one. But the president came out asking for $33 billion. Now, Democrats are coming forward calling for nearly $40 billion. So they bumped it up nearly another $7 billion. And again, I'm not taking political sides here. I'm simply telling you this is what the reports and the headlines are saying right now. So they came forward and now they have it at nearly $40 billion. And they're going to be voting on that today in the House of Representatives. So this is what's going down already. This was just mentioned a few days ago by the president. Sure would be nice if they did this with other bills, bring them forward and vote on them almost immediately. Oh, that sure would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. So to bring this into, bring it full circle here and let you know where we're currently sitting, this would put total Ukraine relief money sitting at about $55 billion. Again, give or take $1 billion or $2 billion. It's about $55 billion is where we're currently sitting. To put that into perspective, that would be enough money to send out $1,000 stimulus checks to 55 million people. Which, by the way, we've been talking about here on the channel, trying to get a $2,000 stimulus check for 50 million people. We'd be halfway there already, right? Just with this money alone, that is putting it into perspective. So I just want to let you know that that is a lot of money. Sometimes we look at these numbers and think, 55 billion, who cares? What does that even mean, right? Well, it's a ton of money. It's enough to send out 55 million people $1,000 checks. Just to put that into perspective, by the way. Now, again, as we mentioned yesterday, the administration has come out, and the president alone has come out, talking about sending out, establishing this free internet for 48 million low-income households. Again, just wanted to put it into perspective one more time. The administration alone is identifying 48 million households that are eligible for a free ongoing internet, high-speed internet. My point is, we could take all 48 million of these households and send them a $1,000 check with this money, okay? So I'm not saying we shouldn't do it. I'm just simply saying I wanted to put it into perspective so that we can all see how much money this actually really is, right? So it's a lot of money, right? There's only a handful of people walking around the world right now that have enough money that could actually write a $55 billion check. There's not many people at all, but there certainly are some people out there that could do it. But anyway, it's a ton of money, seriously. When it comes to Congress and them approving bills and stuff like that, when it comes down to it, $55 billion is essentially nothing to Congress, right? When it comes to the federal government, $55 billion is nothing for them. But it is still money. It's still taxpayer dollars, things like this. But my point is, considering they usually work with hundreds of billions or even trillions of dollars at a time, 55 billion seems like a very small amount of money, right? But again, is exactly why we've been calling on them to approve $100 billion to send out $2,000 to 50 million people. It's exactly why I keep saying that in so many videos as well. because when it comes down to it, when we're usually dealing with hundreds of billions or even trillions of dollars, 100 billion is nothing. It's chump change to them, right? Therefore, wouldn't be that big of a deal to get something going and to get out a check into the pockets of the people who actually need it during this time. So anyway, that's just the perspective from Congress, and the numbers that they typically deal with is usually big numbers, hundreds of billions of dollars at a time. That's why I'm saying 100 billion in the eyes of Congress is not that much, right? So anyway, wanted to put that into perspective for you. So as you can see here, some weird different things going on right now, but just as always, I will continue to keep you updated with anything going on. By the way, the president will be out today addressing us, the American people, as well as the press, anybody else, talking about inflation and how it pertains to American families and what they're going to do about it going forward. So I don't know. Seems like they should have been out, I don't know, maybe a year ago talking about inflation and figuring out a plan for it rather than trying to figure it out when inflation is so incredibly high right now. But at least late is better than never, right? I guess that's what the saying is. So anyway, these are the updates that I have for you as of right now. Of course, as I do get more information on anything that is released or announced today, I'll be right back here for you, breaking it down, letting you know what is actually going on. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other nearly 2,500 videos right here on the channel. Thanks again. Enjoy, and I'll